Speaker of the National Assembly.
Honorable Malema, what is the point of order?
You asked Mr. Ramaphosa to sit down first. I'm standing. No, when a point of order is called, Speaker, the Speaker must sit down. You can't have two speakers standing at the same time. Please follow the procedure.
Honorable Malema.
I'm rising on Joint Rules 14S. And we can't both stand, Speaker.
Honorable Malema, I asked you, you said you have a point of order.
Yes.
And I said, what is the point of order? And I allowed you to go ahead.
But please, Speaker, in terms of procedure, the President must sit down.
I will order the President to sit down if I feel it is necessary for him to do so. I will. No, sit down, honorable members.
Honorable Speaker, it's not the rules. That's not how it works. Honorable Speaker, I think we are, as honorable members, violating the joint rules of this House by allowing Mr. Ramaphosa to speak here because he has taken this parliament to court. And by taking this parliament to court, he has passed a motion of no confidence on this parliament. And he can't have his cake and still eat it because until the court has resolved on the dispute between us as parliament and him, he's got no leg to stand before us as a legitimate body to address us. And therefore, I ask that the Speaker should actually declare this meeting closed because he had no right even to convene us to come here. How can he convene the people that he has taken to court? And in that court, Speaker, you are the first respondent. Effectively, he has taken you to court. And that if he wins this case, it means that this body has acted unlawfully against him. We have a matter with him before court, and the right thing to do will be that we should allow the court to make a ruling before we can interface in the manner we're doing. Because the President has declared a motion of no confidence against his own parliament, something that has never happened.
Thank you.
President Mbeki can confirm that since 1994, we have seen this mess with what is before us now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Malema. Honorable Malema, when I opened this session, I said this session is convened in terms of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, read together with Rule 7. And this has been called in order to discuss one item, in fact, not a discussion, for the President to provide us with his program of action of government, and therefore he will be allowed to proceed and deliver the State of the Nation address. This session has not been convened to discuss any other matter other than the one which I have just stipulated. Allow us, Honorable Malema, to allow the President to present his State of the Nation address. Yes, Honorable Malema. I also would not want us to have a dialogue, Honorable members. Yes.
With due respect, Honorable Speaker, you cannot say that this event is called only to perform one item only. If that was the case, the joint rules were not going to allow the point of orders. Though the founders of this parliament knew that there might be a necessity, even when we are convened in this manner, for members of parliament to raise issues that are damaging the image of this institution. And I've raised that matter, and I would like you to consider it and not just dismiss it on the basis that we are here to listen to one item only. The rules were not going to provide for point of orders if we're only subjected to listen to one item. And therefore, I think the Speaker is out of order in that regard.
Thank you very much, Honorable Malema. Honorable Malema and honorable members, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, stopping the president from addressing the House. In terms of Section 34, everyone, any one of us here has a right to access the courts of the Republic of South Africa. I now, please, honorable members, invite the president to deliver the state of, it is in our interest for us to listen to the State of the Nation address, honorable members. Mr. President, you may proceed.
Speaker, I'm raising on a point of order as is contained in Rule 14S of the Joint Rules of the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces. We can't bury our heads as Parliament and sit here convened by a person who has disregarded the institutions of the state. We know, as a matter of fact, that there is an issue which the Reserve Bank sought clarity from him on in relation to the money that is in Palapala. He has ignored that recurrently. The revenue collector, the FIC, SAPS, everyone else.
There is a point
I
of
think
order.
that issue we can't bury our heads in the sand and listen to a person who is involved in wrongdoing,
Honorable members.
and we can't vote wrong into right as Parliament as we did in the last sitting when we were
Honorable
dealing with the Palapala issue.
you are
I
now
would think that as
delivering a speech. This is a speech. Next week, no, Honorable Shivambo, please take your seat. Please take your seat. Honorable Zungula.
Speaker,
Yes.
I want to call upon thing that you did, Speaker, is to anticipate what will happen in the House by reading rules of Parliament. And that is in violation of Rule 90 in terms of the rules. The second point of order, Speaker, is that you are disrupting speakers when they are addressing you.
Honorable Zungula.
And Speaker,
Honorable Zungula,
you are
please
violating
take your
Rule
seat.
66.
Please
and I'm
take your
addressing
seat,
you.
Honorable
You
Zungula.
are violating the
Honorable
rule as I'm speaking to
Zungula,
you.
will
Because
you
you are
please
interrupting me.
take your seat?
I'm not done, Speaker.
Honorable Zungula,
I'm not done.
take
Speaker,
your seat.
I'm a member of Parliament. I've got a
Honorable
right to raise
Zungula,
a point of order.
I am calling you for the third time.
Speaker,
Honorable
I am
Zungula.
raising a point of order.
Honorable
I'm raising
Zungula.
a point of order.
Honorable Zungula, I request you to leave the House. I do. I request you, Honorable Zungula, to leave the House. Honorable Shivambo, Honorable Malema, Honorable Mente, Honorable Mautwe, Honorable Dlamini, Honorable Ndlozi, Honorables, the ones I've just called now, you can leave the House. Now. Sergeant and arms, leave the House. Honorable members, you are refusing to leave the House? Thank you. I now suspend the proceedings. I now suspend the proceedings. Security services, you may intervene. Security services of the Republic of South Africa, you now come into the chamber and remove the members. The business is suspended for the next 10 minutes. one out.
Tell your guys it's over. There's nothing to do.
Kicked out of parliament. What do you make of it? Welcome to dictatorship. Our country has been converted into dictatorship in the protection of one individual. Where have you ever seen elite unit, counter-assault team entering parliament in uniform? Only that happens in dictatorship. Where have you ever seen the media being prevented from speaking to members of parliament? Only under dictatorship do South Africans be denied an opportunity to see what is really happening here. The whole state has been collapsed in the protection of one man. But we can assure South Africa that we'll never get tired. We'll hold him accountable. If he thought he was going to sweep under the carpet the Pala matter, the load shedding matter, the high levels of crime and GBV and unemployment in this country, we are not going to allow that. Parliament has degenerated, executive has degenerated, the judiciary has degenerated in protection of one man. Welcome to dictatorship. Our country has turned against its own constitution. Police responsibility is outside parliament. It's not inside parliament. Inside parliament is the protection services that get paid to protect members of parliament. But what we saw today, presidential protection team, the counter-assault team on the stage right inside parliament.
Mr. Malema, can you just tell us about how many people have been injured from the EFF side?
We have not checked as to how many people are injured, but our national chairperson is not here, has been injured when she fell down inside a group of men were stamping on top of her, both in uniform, in the counter-assault protection, in the protection unit of the president. We identified them through the badge and members of the parliamentary protection unit.
What's the way forward now? Any legal action?
We're going to take a legal action because she can't chase me out of parliament without calling my name and warning me 3 times. When you abandon the rules of parliament for emotions, this is what happens. She violated every book in the law, and this has to be declared unconstitutional and unparliamentary. Her conduct is unbecoming. It was her who had the responsibility to protect members of parliament.
On what basis do you understand the EFF was kicked out?
No, we were kicked out because we're calling for point of order. That the president is not legitimate to stand before us. He has taken us to court, and by taking us to court, he has declared a motion of no confidence on us. And secondly, that the president has swept under the carpet the Pala matter using his majority in parliament not to be held accountable, and this parliament has to hold him accountable to show that the president came unprepared not to be accountable to government, parliament. He came with uniformed and elite units of the police to come and defend him here. We get chased out. She has no right to say, I'm now done with point of orders because you are calling point of orders and I've entertained those. No, the Constitutional Court ruled that we must be treated as individual members of parliament. We cannot be treated as a group. And what she did was to treat all of us as a group, and that was unacceptable.
The speaker had...
What do you make about the riot police being here? The courts have ruled in the past no police even inside the house.
The police have gone inside, and that's what I said. That the police inside and the riot police outside. Inside is the counter-assault team, the unit that gets released to go and deal with high-level crimes, cash in transit and kidnappings and those types of crimes. They are brought inside parliament, and not only inside parliament, on the stage of parliament. That the court has to declare unconstitutional. The riot police that is brought outside, harassing members of the media, harassing members of the public, in a parliament that's supposed to be the people's parliament. When we are inside there, and when I went on the stage with a placard, it is because parliament
is the highest stage of protest. No one can deny that Parliament is a stage and formalized stage of protest. And if protest cannot be tolerated in Parliament, where else is it going to be tolerated? They have set a precedence that anyone who exercises his right is going to be violated by police. When I went on the stage, I was not singing, I was not disruptive, I was holding my placard peacefully, quietly in Parliament. And I was attacked by police for peacefully protesting inside Parliament. Only dictatorship works like that.
The Speaker had said that she intended to enforce the rules as quickly as possible ahead of this sitting. What do you make of how she approached presiding over the SONA?
It's a preemptive strategy. She came prepared to protect one man. That's why I said Parliament has degenerated, the executive has degenerated, the judiciary has degenerated in protection of one man. You can't read the rules. All she was supposed to do is to open Parliament and allow members of Parliament to participate. What does she do? She intimidates members of Parliament right from the beginning. But we are not the type to be intimidated by anyone. Not police, not the military, not the president, not the speaker. We will always raise our concerns. It doesn't matter the risk. I came here, and when I came here, the crime intelligence told me that there is a person who's deployed amongst the white shirts with a sharp object that when I get pushed out, I must be stabbed with a sharp object. I didn't care about that. I had to do what I'm employed to do, irrespective of those threats that were made even before we entered this place.
So, Mr. Malema, you're saying that there was an attempt on your life in this city?
I even reported to the Deputy Minister of Police that this is the information that came to me, that I'm going to be killed inside Parliament. And he sent the message to them and came back to say, we have shared the message with everyone that there is such an information and it should not happen. So we knew that they came here heavy-handed.
So in essence, you are saying that there is a political assassination attempt against yourself and also the statement that was released by the EFF on your Secretary General, Marshal Daniel.
Absolutely. They can't defeat a political debate through political engagement. What they do, they resort to political killing and political intimidation. All of this is aimed at undermining our multi-party democracy, which allows protest and freedom of speech.
Mr. Malema, are you saying the state is trying to kill you?
Absolutely. They are planning, not only me, they are planning to kill the leadership of the EFF. Where have you ever seen what they did inside Parliament being done anywhere where there is a protest? That was a very clear assault from the side of the police. And the leadership of the EFF was well briefed about that. That's why when we were pushed there, the first thing members of the EFF did was to pull me out of the crowd before they can take out anyone and say, don't get involved, because we know what these people are intending to do.
What are you going to do about the state, your belief that the state wants to kill you?
No, we will continue to fight. It's part of the terrain. We report to the police, we report to the leadership of the police. What they do with that information is up to them. But there's nothing we can do except to reinforce our own security and tell them that this is what we are subjected to.
And why vote with the very same people who want to kill you in local government elections?
Vote with them where?
In local councils,
where?
like you voted with the ANC in Togo.
No, we didn't vote with the ANC. We voted Al-Jamaa, SMA. We voted Al-Jamaa. What the ANC did, we don't know. We don't vote with them. And we can't say to the ANC, because we are voting for this one, don't vote for this one. They've got the right to choose whoever they want to choose. But we are not voting with the ANC. We are voting on our own and voting for small parties in the areas where the EFF cannot gather the sufficient support of the opposition. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
At what